Ever have one of those days where you just can't seem to avoid trouble, even when you're trying to help? Yeah, me neither. But that's exactly what happened to me in the most bizarre and hilarious way possible. It all started on a regular Tuesday evening in St. George. I was hungry and decided to grab a bite at my favorite restaurant. As soon as I walked in, I spotted a group of teenagers. One of them was wearing a mini skirt that, let's just say, left little to the imagination. Now, I usually mind my own business, but this time, I felt a sudden urge to play the hero. I walked over, tapped her on the shoulder, and said, "Hey, your skirt is a bit too high." She just rolled her eyes and turned away. Now, I could have just let it go, but no, not me. I decided to take matters into my own hands, literally. I reached down and yanked her skirt down a few inches. Big mistake, huge. The girl spun around, her eyes wide with shock, and before I knew it, she whipped out her phone and started recording. "What are you doing?" she screamed. "I'm saving you from indecent exposure," I replied, trying to sound like a concerned citizen. Next thing I know, she's calling the police, and I'm being labeled as a Karen all over social media. Great, just what I needed. The police arrived faster than you could say viral video. They took one look at the footage and decided that I was the one in trouble. Apparently, pulling down someone's skirt, even if you think you're helping, is considered sexual battery. Who knew? As I sat in the back of the police car, I tried to explain my side of the story. But officer, she was practically naked. There were kids around. The officer shook his head. "Ma'am, that doesn't give you the right to touch someone else." I spent the night in the Purgatory Correctional Facility, which, let me tell you, is not as fun as it sounds. The next morning, I was released, but not before the story had blown up online. The video had nearly 2 million views on TikTok, and everyone knew my name. Back at home, I called my boss to explain the situation. "You did what?" he exclaimed. "You know you work for the Attorney General, right?" "Yes, but I was just trying to protect the children," I protested. "Well, next time, try to protect your job instead," he said before hanging up. So here I am, stuck in the middle of a social media firestorm, facing criminal charges and trying to figure out how my life went from normal to a reality TV show overnight. Morale of the story? Sometimes it's best to just mind your own business, or at least keep your hands to yourself.